That's right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our show. This is Dating and Marriage Perspectives. Damn good to the last word. And your co-hosts, Karina and Amber, are joining you again. So hello to our viewers and our listeners. We have a guest today, and I'm just loving that we are adding to our list and having faces to different perspectives. So we have Chris joining us today, aka
hello, everyone.
Simo. Hello. And today today
my cheeks
we're
are
still
hurting.
talking about sex. What's that?
My cheeks are hurting, by the way.
Oh.
Smiling right now.
It's great company. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So we're still talking about sex, but today we are focused on dry spells and sex sprints. And what we mean by that is that we could be in a relationship or not in a relationship, but we might go through a period of not having sex at all, hence dry spell. Or we might be in a moment in our dating life or lack of dating and just having fun, and we're just fucking everybody with legs. I mean, it just might be happening.
It happens in marriage too.
It happens in marriage too. So, all right. So dry spells and sex sprints. I mean, I could start with dishing out the first question.
I think we should dish it on over to Chris. Or we can start and then let Chris, do you want us to start? And then we can throw you in there in the fire, or?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. The deep end is the best way to start.
That's right. Oh, you go in the deep end? You go
yeah,
deep?
The deep end.
Okay.
All right, children. All right. Okay. Okay. What was a dry spell moment for you?
Dry spell moment would probably be after my last serious relationship, which was like, so that ended in 2009. 2009, yeah. And so between, well, no, let me take that back. Yeah, so 2009, 2009. There's a little some, nothing serious, but then yeah, after that, I'd say maybe about 4 years almost, maybe.
Word?
4 years?
4 years, 5 years.
Boy, you got me beat, I think.
4 years.
You got me beat.
Yeah, it was a while.
That is
like
really
nothing.
good.
Like dry spell, nothing.
Like dry spell, nothing. Like nothing.
Well, okay, can we elaborate on that? Because I have a couple questions. Okay.
Sure.
So did at first it start out as on purpose? Because sometimes, when you get out of a relationship, especially if it's a serious one, you can either go two ways. You can be like, I'm going and I'm hitting everything. Or
right.
You can say, you know what, I need to rethink what I'm doing, what's going on with my life. So what was that for you?
So I think for me, it was more so just, I think I was just kind of rolling with it. Like, I didn't really think too much about it. I wasn't like actively looking and saying, I need this. In general, I'm a very much like a go with the flow person. If something feels right and it seems right, then cool. If not, then I usually stay away. At that point, nothing was really moving in that direction in terms of like opportunities. So I didn't actively like pursue anyone or any kind of activity. And then like when I really started dating again, like a few years after that, that's when I think it was like, I think I'd gotten back onto like the social media stuff and the apps and it's kind of, for me, it's like hard to read people sometimes, or I'm very kind of cautious about who's who and like saying who I am or what I do and like the whole deal, because even if something's not serious, I always feel like I have to have that little bit of like, I can trust you enough that this will be cool. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I generally tend to be very guarded with everything. So the times that I have gotten into like just like hookup situations, it's usually been with somebody who I've been already like somewhat cool with, you know. But yeah, the longest period has been about, I'd say around like the 3-4 year mark, you know.
Now, did
And
something
then
happen to you spiritually when that happened?
no, it's just more like it's in the moment and things sort of materialize, and then you're just like, okay, this doesn't feel weird, or this doesn't feel like awkward. So yeah, let's go ahead and have some fun.
Yeah.
But then if I do get that feeling of like if I do get that feeling like there could be some weirdness afterwards or some uncomfortable situation afterwards, then I'm like, okay, no, I'd rather not, you know.
Gotcha.
And I have been in that situation on several occasions where I've been like, I'm thinking a few steps ahead.
Yeah.
And in thinking a few steps ahead, I don't like the potential of what could be next. So,
Okay.
and I don't want to sound like, well, I'll just say it. Anytime I've just wanted to have any kind of physical interaction, and that's it, I'm cool with that. And I don't hop around from person to person. If I'm with one person, I'm just with one person, even if it's not like super serious.
Yeah. Oh,
But but I I try not to do that sometimes, only because when a girl has said, I don't want anything serious, I just want to have fun, and I'm like, okay, then it's like, bam, it switches, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, no, this isn't part of the deal. This is not what
I
this
wish
is
you were
not.
in our show earlier.
You
I'm
should have
sorry,
said
I just
yes.
cut you off. I'm so sorry. We just did a show. We were talking about categories. Category
Yes.
1, we're just fucking. Category 2, we're hanging out, but there's not much more. And then
Right.
3 is we're headed towards a
Right.
relationship. But yeah, sorry. This just
It's just
took my
interesting.
mind right.
Yeah, that you're saying the same thing though. He literally just said the same thing. Like you were going to be in this category and that's it. You know, they're not switching.
And that was the understanding, and that's happened on a couple of occasions.
Oh my God.
And then it ends up in a position where you disappoint the other person, but you're like, you wanted this from the beginning.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have people start signing contracts. I think Prince used to do that, right? You know, I'm gonna have a contract written up. So anytime that gets
Go
brought
back
up,
to it.
yeah,
You signed the
exactly.
contract.
Right. On this date, you signed.
That's
this.
right.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, it's been. I tend to overthink a lot too. So maybe that's just my own weirdness of, dealing with stuff like this. And, like, I don't know how to necessarily categorize it because it's hard for me to like self-analyze, but, like fun is fun. And I think fun is cool. But then, when you start, how?
Ask, go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of people are going to be hearing this, right?
Well,
We hope.
Eventually, we've got
Okay.
14 subscribers.
I guess I can say this, and it might be okay. But so the last girl I was dating, that's how it started out. Was and like I said, it ended a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this is somebody who I've known for like 10 years. It was a friend of a friend.
Oh, 10 years.
And she was never really on my radar as anything more like romantically. She has a daughter, a 4-year-old, and she's a great person. She's really a nice person. But then sort of, at least in my eyes, unless she had this whole thing planned out before, out of the blue, she kind of brought the subject up of, let's just keep it fun. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. That sounds like it's cool. But then it quickly progressed into like, I love you and I'm in love with you.
Oh.
And
what is quickly? Like
faster than it shouldn't even have happened in the first place. You know, and
Must have been throwing it
it's not
down,
that I,
because Jesus.
yeah, it's not that I didn't. I mean, it's not that I don't love her, but you know, I can tell anyone I love you. That's not a problem. But then to say I'm in love with you, I never said it back,
Mhm.
and I kind of maneuvered my way into the next topic because I just don't want to say that to say it,
Yeah.
and then you're like bound by it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like it's in like the Little Mermaid. And you say that, then like Ursula's gonna take my voice or something, or like and get some kind of like repercussions. But yeah, it's a for me, I've found it to be a very delicate dance, you know,
Yeah.
because I try to be attached. I try to. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You know, and if I genuinely like somebody, you know, as a person and as a friend, I don't want to necessarily do anything to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
Now, it has been like that in the past where things have gone cold in terms of the friendship for a while, but then after things sort of simmer down, then we're cool again, and you know, everything's all good and everybody's moved on and on to the next.
Yeah.
But
Um,
Next
yeah,
one.
you're right.
with some dry spells in
Just-
between.
That's right.
Yeah, with some dry spells in between, and then you know, you just find ways to occupy your time.
You got-
Otherwise, you know,
yeah, you get to know yourself more.
you get to know yourself very well.
You're like, why didn't he do that?
Yeah, it's a
Oh
lot
my
of
God.
you go back to the one who loves you the most, you know,
That's right.
the one who
Yeah.
the one who knows you the most.
Yeah,
And
Exactly.
but then you don't the funny thing is like to me is like you don't realize it dry spells until like the rain starts falling again. And then once the rain is falling and you realize it's there, then it's kind of like you know that it's available.
Yeah.
But then you're like, how do I get some more rain when I need it? You know,
See?
like
You didn't
what's
be
the,
like, damn, I was
damn rain
thirsty.
dance that I need to do?
Yeah.
Make it rain.
You know, that's I think that's the hard part. But and then yeah, it's then trying to figure out like the who's and where's and what's and
Yeah.
how's and you know, like
Much
it's
work.
always a tough little situation, you know.
Does dating feel like work to you? I know this is not the topic. I'm just curious because we talk about this often on the show.
Sometimes yeah. Sometimes yeah. I I think if I'm really into it and I know I feel comfortable, and I'm not really good with vulnerability, like I know that's not my strength at all, and I tend to hold back a lot and really, you know, I don't give as much as the other girls I've been with have given, you know, in terms of like emotionally. And it's easier for me to be like a listener and kind of a sounding board and support than it is for me to say, I need that from somebody else. So in that sense, I think it's made dating hard because I tend to, one, it's hard for me to open up and be vulnerable, but then also I have all the other things that I like to do, and I like my time and I like my independence. Sometimes I really thrive on being alone and just having like when it's quiet and like I'm at the golf course or at the driving range, or you know, just get zoned out at the gym doing my thing, or zoned out behind the camera taking pictures, or you know, when I had Cooper, like same thing, just doing my thing with the pup, and everything was fine. And I think I've in a lot of ways just sort of learned to be comfortable in that way. So when it comes time to like sort of sharing your time with somebody else and being available for them and being very conscious of like what they need and when they need it and how they need it, and
Right.
you know, it's like sort of it's not even really the physical stuff too. It's like kind of like the little things. It's like the little contact or that part I can do, but I feel like it does take a little bit of like more active effort.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
It's
ask.
not a bad thing. I'm not against it at all, but I
Yeah.
think there's like I feel like whoever I end up with, whoever my queen will be, I feel like it will be like completely effortless and like I won't have to think about it. It'll be something that will just naturally, you know, flow.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna ask. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, Kay. I want to know, like, when was the last time, or what was like a dry spell moment for you?
COVID.
Okay. Okay.
Girl. And the thing is, it delayed my, like, I guess ability, for lack of a better word, it delayed my ability to get back in the dating scene because me and my ex-fiance broke up, right, in 2018.
Mhm.
And I took 2019 to just be with Karina,
Yeah.
self-love, self-reflect, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm ready. It's the end of 2019, 2020 happens.
She was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm
I'm
not.
like, damn, what the hell? I haven't dated since 2018.
Yes.
Haven't been with anybody since 2018. And even because we had issues, even he and I weren't really that sexually active. We weren't close in that way. We were dealing with some serious stuff. So having sex I wasn't interested. He wasn't interested. So COVID just F me up big time.
Damn virus.
Damn virus, exactly.
But now you
That-
know
that
yourself
is
better.
Like
A lot better. Self-isolation and everything.
right.
Like, come on. And then what do we have on Netflix? Bridgerton. I'm like, man, that is the wrong
That's
show
cold-blooded.
to watch when you're by yourself and you don't even have choices. I guess I could, but I was not chancing it.
Right.
Right.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I have to say, I mean, we have dry spells, but not, he gets on my case and I'm like, fine, here. Like on our previous ones, I explained, listen, you've got 7 minutes. Okay.
Well, but what is dry spell for you, for the both of you? Like couple weeks?
If that. Yeah, if that. I mean, something's going to happen. I'm going to let him get some type of release. It may not be in me, but he's going to get some.
You do for me, I do for you.
That's right.
But like Hunter and Phoenix are enough.
I will, let me say, I'll never forget in the labor room, I was just in so much pain. I just looked at him and I said, we are never having sex again, ever. I'm not doing this again. So we probably went, I mean, they say probably went about 6 weeks. And, so I guess that would be the other longest time.
It was a C-section too. You could even.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to
bear.
No.
See, that's healthy. That's like good, solid. That's not really a dry spell. That's like
exactly
that's just medical.
Okay.
Because
6 weeks is a doctor's recommendation. That's all.
Right. No, but I was like, don't touch me though, too. Like, don't touch me. Do you know what just came out of me?
Recovery time.
Oh my God.
Oh man. But even, when I was dating, I have to say I had I purposely had done a dry spell because I just wanted to become more like in tune spiritually and things like that. So even when I was dating, it was a year. There was a year. And I'll never forget, I went out with this older guy and he spent like $400. We went out to dinner, spent $400, and I was so fucked up. But he was like, we're having sex. I'm like, no, we're not. He's like, no, yeah, we are. I'm like, all right. And then that ruined my year of
oh no. How long had you gone?
A year.
A
whole year.
The streak was over.
The streak was over.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld where Elaine was like had all her sponges.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. What
she
happened?
was like rationing them out, like determining which dudes were like sponge worthy.
That That is very true. And that's a really good thought for women. We need to talk
I
about
never got into Seinfeld.
I didn't either, but Brett always references him. And I always say
Oh
like
my
how I
God.
have like,
I know, Chris. I get that reaction all the time. Like, you haven't
I would
seen
say
Seinfeld?
when it was airing, regularly, I wasn't into it either. It's only now watching the reruns, I realize how funny it really was. I mean, like
really?
hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. Like, and a lot of it too is written and acted out in a way that would not be allowed on TV. Like they say things that would not be, and talk about topics that would not be allowed on TV a lot, And I think for that time, which is you look back, you're like, okay, that's really kind of out there that they would say these things and, talk about people certain ways. And it was kind of like live version of almost like South Park, a little bit more watered down though.
That's
Not
Oh,
quite as,
South Park is.
yeah,
I love
but
South Park.
but it was really, really funny though. So
Oh, that's
if you
awesome.
can, definitely recommend it.
Okay. We'll have to binge watch that.
Right.
Got
But
to get into that.
yeah, but my dry spell just started again 2 weeks ago, so we'll see how long that lasts.
That's
Now exactly. So
That's-
are
yeah,
you
ask
gonna
it.
purposely take your time, not be bothered?
I'm gonna see what happens. I don't see revisiting anything with this past relationship
Mhm.
because I just don't. I think the thing with me is like I think there were times when I really tried to picture, because she would say like I can see a future with you. It's not that I couldn't see a future with her. It's just I couldn't see a future with her. Like it's not something that I could really form in my head.
Mhm.
And we were both moving forward, but she was moving way faster pace than I was moving forward.
Right.
So I guess, looking at things, it may have looked like I was moving backwards. And that's what she said to me. She's like, she felt like her sister and brother-in-law came to town, and she was like, we'd gone to dinner, and she said, I feel like when we were at dinner, you were more of an acquaintance than
Ooh.
like we were in a relationship. And I was like, oh, I mean, I didn't really see it like that, but
Right.
it's like, okay,
That's interesting. Like, what were
Yeah.
you giving? Like, what vibes did she say? What vibes you were? Obviously, the acquaintance vibe, but what were you giving off? That was
I maybe subconsciously I was just not there, like not really even seeing myself, because I was like really trying hard to put myself mentally in that kind of a position where I'm like, okay, this is how it could be. This is, really trying to give my best effort in that sense.
yeah.
But I've been so busy with family and work and like all these different things going on, and there's a little bit more to the story too. I don't know if I can get into too much, but there was just so many other things that were swirling around at the time, and right now my number one priority is like my dad and making sure everything's okay, and
Sure.
things are together, and like he's comfortable and he's doing as well as he can.
Yeah.
And then I have 3 different jobs that I'm doing, true Jamaican,
That's
and
right.
like, and so any given day I'm doing 2 out of the 3 things, sometimes all 3, and then the relationship part, and then the person who I'm spending most of my time with, whether it's giving my either going to visit or texting or calling, is her. So I know that sometimes, we would of course get together like sometimes during the weekdays, mostly on the weekends.
Mhm.
A lot of it depended too on, whether her daughter was going to be there or not. And her daughter's number one priority. And she's like, she brought that up at first, and I was like, well, I hope she would be. Otherwise, I would not want to talk to you.
Right.
If your kid is not your your number one,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be your number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but then like when the day's late, run down to the gym or go to the gym first thing in the morning. And then when I'm done down here, I run over to the driving range and hit some golf balls till it closes. So, then I'll try to call her. It just takes up there's so many different things going on. And she has a lot of stuff going on in her life as well. And, I was just like, let's just let it ride. You do what you do. When we'll do what we can when we can. And I'm guessing that just wasn't enough for her, and
Well,
that's okay.
you make time for the person you want to make time for.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not there, then it's not there.
Yeah. And I just don't I think that in my gut, I feel like if this was really the thing that where I was supposed to be and how it was supposed to be, things would have fallen in place in ways that I wouldn't even have been able to really control, you know what I mean? And I think that's how a lot of things have happened in my life anyway, where they've just sort of happened. And I don't really have necessarily an explanation of how they happened, sort of like one of those things, like, what you want and you sort of prep and plan for it. But the actual execution of that thing that you want is not really something that you could have orchestrated on your own, and that happened with, it happened with residency, it happened with medical school, it happened with college, it happened with the first relationship, it happened with my dog, it happened with all these different things where it just happened, but then it just turned out to be good. You know what I'm saying? So with this, it hadn't really gotten to that kind of point, I think, and so, I'm not heartbroken about it by any means,
Right.
but the only sad part about it is that, you spent the better part of a year kind of giving that kind of attention to somebody.
I was going to ask you if this was the same one you told me about at the golf tournament.
That is the same one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, remember what we talked about afterwards.
What did we talk about? Remind me.
We'll talk about that one off camera.
and that at that point it was still super fresh. It had been a year. So this actually, my birthday would have been exactly 1 year.
Oh, and you just had it.
Yeah. So and also too, maybe I'm too superstitious or something, but there were a lot of things that reminded me of my prior relationship that it's not that they were bad things, but it was just too much of eerie similarities with a lot of things that happened that just kind of give you that, you get that feeling. It can be that.
Yeah, that's right. Run.
Right. And I'm I just had, I had one of the pants legs on, just ready to dip out just in case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of weird similarities with the date to this one particular date. I mean, not a date that we had, but a day of the year,
Yeah.
So
did
you
have a dry spell before? You may have answered this, but I can't remember. Did you have a dry spell before this one?
Yeah, probably about I want to say maybe a couple years. So really COVID.
You dry. Oh, okay. It was COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the girl who I was sort of dating-ish before, I don't think we were really on the same page in terms of, well, first of all, this whole COVID thing was new. It was I didn't know anything about it. It was just crazy, just I shut myself off from everyone, right? Just barriers up everywhere.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the whole vaccination thing, and I'm not gonna say she was an anti-vaxxer, but me, I hate shots, but as soon as this thing was available, I'm take my arm, I don't care. I don't want to be, out there. And so I think it just was one of those things that nothing bad happened. It just kind of dissolved in its own natural way,
You know, we call those things warning signs, right? Or like red flags.
Yeah. 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 There were some other red flags there too.
Oh shoot.
Nothing's like danger, get off the ship right now, but stuff that I'm just like, is this something that I would really want to deal with down the line? You know, like, is this, you know, the vision was cloudy a little bit
Okay.
with
Let's see,
that.
we'll do that.
So yeah, for real. For real. You're just
Speaking
like,
of,
Yeah.
let's turn the coin a little bit.
Okay.
What about sex sprints? Have you all had a sex sprints defined as just having sex,
Yes.
just having sex?
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to go? You want to go, Amber?
Yeah. I was, what's like Usain Bolt? Um,
Sex bolt?
say again?
Did you say sex bolt?
No, Usain Bolt.
Oh.
Yeah, I did for faux show. After I had been in that 8-year relationship, then a crappy relationship, then a 3-year relationship, and then, you know, right in my 30s, and I started to realize who I was like, oh, wait a minute, one for you, you get some, and you get some, and you get some, and you get some. You know, it was a fun time.
I had a moment in college where
I was like, keep going.
it was a weekend escapade.
Whoa.
oh my God.
I think that may have been my first sex sprint experience. Was like,
have you had
college? What's that?
Have you had any sense?
Oh yeah, in my 30s. I think in my 30s, like when I moved to LA, I was just, you know, I had just ended a 3.5-year relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nobody knows me in LA. I'm brand new.
Yep.
It's a great opportunity.
That's right.
They didn't know my real name.
That's right.
But yeah, it's kind of the bad boy era as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, just not giving a damn. Being safe.
Well, yes.
But, you know, just whatever. Just let go. Let go, let God.
That's right. Was that like a oh God, or was that like
yeah, I think that's better actually.
Is it a short O or a long O?
That's right.
Oh, what?
Well,
Was it a short O or long O? Like, oh God, or
oh
God.
Well. You want the long ones?
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
I've never had any sprints. Mine are usually like, you know, mid or long distance, you know.
Is it a relay?
No, yeah. Never had any relays. I only run solo.
Okay. But are you?
I'm not into teams. I don't do the team sports real well, you know. That's why. but I've done the dating sprints where, you know, you just kind of, you know, you just go out, meet up, and like, yeah, this is cool. No, this is not cool. Yeah. Some like, oh, this is great. Wait a second, damn, I got ghosted, you know, or some I'm like shit, how do I ghost this? you know, but it's not really, it's very much like on or just off. Like really on, really off, you know. But when I will say this, for the times when it's on, it's great. I enjoy my time. It's, you know, like kind of like no regrets. If it works out, cool. If it doesn't, it works out, you know, if it doesn't, cool also. But it was good. You know,
It did the job.
it was,
She did the job.
I got what I needed, and I
Yeah.
hope she got what she needed. I
You
try
know,
to make sure she gets what she needs.
it's not a bad thing to get what you need
Right.
Yeah,
sometimes.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I just make sure, like, at least on my end, I know that I can deliver in a way that we're both good.
Delivery
selfish.
matters.
Selfish. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Pew, pew,
Because
pew.
That's right.
I don't want to be enjoying like a meal by myself. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
yeah.
You can be at home for that.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just like, you know, if we're both hanging out, what's the fun if they're not having fun? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Well,
it's been,
I have another
like I said, you know, when it's on. Mhm.
Okay, I mean, so I know what you do. I mean, you're successful, and you know what, you're in your mid 40s, and you're good looking. Like, what is it that you look for in a woman at this age? And like, what attracts you? What is it? What are you looking for our viewers?
I actually had this discussion the other night. So I think that, of course, physical is, you know, definitely up there, but that's by far not the only thing. I think that for me, I think the physical part is like really the icing on the cake. I mean, like, if the exterior is all there, great. But if I'm looking long term, you know, even if it's like a short term thing, but mostly like long term. Actually, the person I had this discussion with, like, literally just texted as
Oh.
like the notification popped up. But it's more so, I think, closeness with, like, if she has a great relationship with her family, awesome. Like, if she has a great relationship with her parents, cool. Like, siblings, awesome. For me, that's like really, really important, because I feel like I would be comfortable being around that type of situation. I wouldn't have to like tiptoe around anything, you know. So
And you're close with your family too, so I see.
right. So that I think is probably the number one. Because I even look at my sister and, you know, her in-laws. Like, there's never been a time when I've second guessed her being with him, even from the first time I met him, because I knew how close he was with his family. The time I met his dad, like, his dad gave me a kiss on the cheek, his stepmom, you know, like, it's always been a really like close feeling, you know. So that would definitely be number one. Then kind of like what she's about. Like, I don't really care what any woman does, you know, like, it's not, as long as she's passionate about it, does well at it, enjoys it, then cool, you know. I would want to be with somebody who can be in a room with like 100 people and not have to cling to me. Like, that's a big, like, you know, confidence is huge. And then somebody who's like nurturing, somebody who could be like a good mom, you know, somebody who's good with kids, or at least has like a gentle side. But somebody who's not a pushover. Like, I would not, I couldn't deal with somebody who just bows down to everything. Like, that to me, I think would just be like
whatever you
boring.
like, huh? You know.
Yeah, like, I mean, I want somebody to kind of like push back a little bit, you know, like, a little bit of that's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but, you know, like, somebody who can like challenge me, tell me like, this is not, you know, this is not good, or you should be doing this works better. You know, somebody who can be like an active participant, and I would want to, you know, offer that too. But, you know, like, somebody who loves to read and can cook. Cooking's big. Cooking's a big one. I mean, I can cook. I can, you know, I'm not going to go hungry or anything.
Right.
But
it always tastes better
as
when
long as the
else
ability is there. Yeah, you know, it's at least, because I have been in that situation where I mean, bless their hearts. I think they meant well,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
Oh,
this tastes wonderful.
That's right.
oh, you're
But
so kind.
but I do think though, like those are kind of it's kind of a like the big picture, all of that. And then of course
Like big for sure.
the big picture. and that's like the icing on the
That's
cake. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You guys are so dirty. Ew.
Oh.
And the weird thing though is that, and I know this is totally like unrealistic, but it's like any girl that I've had a relationship, whether it's been romantic, semi-romantic, or platonic, has somehow fit in each of those categories. And I'm like, damn, why can't I just have
One.
all y'all together?
Yeah.
You know?
It's called Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
There you-
Friday,
right.
maybe
I'm
Saturday
gonna
and
need you
Sunday.
here. I'm
That's
gonna need you
right.
for this event. I'm gonna need you for this activity.
That's
You know?
It
right.
worked for Amber prior to getting married.
It did. Let me teach you my ways. Yeah,
I know,
myself.
I've tried, and that's a hard thing about being sort of tied down without actually being sure that this is the one that I want to be with all the time, is that I don't want to like offend anyone or make anyone feel jealous or make anyone, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to make
Be
anyone
upfront with them. I think it's
Uh,
important just to be upfront with them and say,
Right.
you know, this is where I'm at, my stage. Doesn't mean things can't change. Yeah. But right now, you're either a booty call,
Right.
number one, or two,
Right.
Netflix and chill, or I see something more, you're number three.
Right.
So,
I was, like the last one I said was definitely kind of a combination of that 1 and 2,
Yeah.
booty call versus Netflix and chill.
yes.
And then third category started creeping. I'm like, whoa.
We didn't agree. Did you remember the contract? Did you read your contract?
Yeah, no, we signed a verbal contract here. This is not part of the plan.
That's the difference between sex sprints, category 1 and 2.
Yes.
Right.
And then a little dry spell might be happening.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want that, but a little dry spell might be happening.
Sometimes it could be good. I mean, do you guys think any dry spells can be good?
Yeah. I think it's good in the sense that you kind of get to refocus on other things that you may not even realize that you may have needed to focus on, whatever that may be. But then I think that it's great because when those spells end, then you kind of appreciate it more. It doesn't become so like, it kind of has like restarts the excitement, like it's like a new venture, it's like it's new uncharted territory. Like an explorer again, planting my flag.
Christmas here.
Yeah, I worry. I worry about me. If my last dry spell, which was COVID, so about 3 years, 3.5. We'll say 3 years.
What's the maximum that you would give yourself for a dry spell? Like, whether it's like if you could have absolute control over it, you would say, I won't go blank many weeks or days or months.
Ooh,
if I had like control and I could like set my calendar, no more than a month. No more than a month. But yeah, I worry. So my last dry spell was 3 years, and I was seeing this guy for 6-7 months. But we didn't have sex until 3 months in, a little bit over 3 months in. And I was worried for him. I mean, the vibe was great. We had those long conversations. We were going out. We were doing stuff. We were physical and all this stuff. But my vajayjay was marinating the whole time. And when the day came, I was just
ready. He just
so ready. I'm gonna break
Can you give him a
something.
poncho? Like,
That's right.
like, gotta give him some
What'd you
rain boots,
say?
umbrellas,
Give
ponchos.
him a poncho.
Get him a ShamWow, squeegee. Like, damn, buckets.
That's right.
That's why if I could calendar it in, then I'd be fine. Like every month, like once a month, right back into it. But
Well, when you're in a
3 years, you
relationship,
guys?
when you guys are in a relationship, do you have dry spells? Yeah.
I would, kind of, not the first, not. So this past one, yes, because it sort of depended on when we could get together.
Oh, okay.
But then prior to that, no, it was pretty regular.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that there was a dry spell during that period
Okay.
at all. It was a good rainy season,
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very lush and fertile
Yes.
everywhere.
Green pastures everywhere,
That's
nice and
right.
healthy.
Pastures, beautiful, vibrant colors.
like the
it was
Amazon.
amazing.
Wow.
But
Sounds like a
this
beautiful
time around,
place
it
to
was
be.
more, and I think it's fun too to like. It's fun to explore in terms of like what can you get away with and where can you get away with doing what you need to do.
Oh, so
You know,
you like to do it wherever you like to be at different places.
Ah,
Okay.
if the situation presents itself,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I
know.
like the thumbs up.
I mean, freedom.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like there have been, yeah, yeah, there's
Moments.
moments. There have been moments, and the moments have been just right, and you're kind of got the head on a swivel, but
Let them see.
Right?
yeah, but it's
Enjoy the show.
gets the adrenaline going, gets
It
the
really-
whole,
Let them see.
There's
Yeah.
something a little bit of like sexy about maybe getting caught. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been very like close moments, like a few close calls,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that makes it even more fun,
Yes, it does. Yes.
I'm remembering a beach moment right now. This show just takes me back to moments I have buried for a long
Yes.
time.
Yes.
You're I can see your thought bubble just like actually brewing.
Yeah, green pastures and everything. Yeah, just
That should be our next. That should be
remember the beach moment.
one of our next next things we put on Instagram or something. We'll put your bubble, what you're thinking about on there.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Well, before
Like,
we let
Remember
you
that
go,
time?
huh? Yeah. We do that a lot too, actually. It is funny because sometimes we'll like text each other and we'll be like, I remember I did such and such, and there was this person, and it's funny how we look at that. But before we let you go, I just have one more question because I wanted to get our last couple of episodes have been on the 90-day dating rule, the one by Steve Harvey. What are your thoughts on that?
Wait, remind me about the 90-day.
So, he basically lets women know you should really wait 90 days. It's like for a man, or right, if you, wait to have sex, to give up the cookie for 90 days. And it's almost as if, where'd you go? Sorry.
there.
Yeah. It's almost like when you go apply for a job, when you get a job, there's 90 days before you get the full benefit package. So it's this, yeah.
I think if it works for people, then cool. I think it really depends on the situation. It depends on the two people involved, and it could be two people who have met just like a few days ago or a couple weeks ago. You don't really know the person much, or you could be two people who've known each other for a while and they've just never had that type of relationship or that connection. So I think it really is a sort of a case by case basis. For if I start seeing a girl who I've never met, maybe I would apply that, get to know her a little bit, see what she's about, assess like where she's at.
Right.
And then if it's somebody I've known for a while, wouldn't necessarily do that. I may do it, but I think it's one of those things that you just kind of assess on the fly. And, if things are, I'm not super religious, but I consider myself more spiritual.
Mhm.
And in any time I've been in a position where something I kind of know or feel something might happen, the last thing I say before I step out of the house is like, if this is not where I'm supposed to be, please stop me right now. If this is not where I'm supposed to be, just let me know, and something will come up or whatever.
Yes.
And so in that sense, I just kind of put it out there, and from that point on, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And every time personally that I've taken that approach, I go out thinking that things will happen and I'm all prepared, nothing. And then other times I go out prepared and then something happens. So the 90-day rule, I think I would say for me, it's good if I need to get a chance to really know somebody to determine if I want to really open up with them in that particular way.
Would you date a girl if she asked you to wait 90 days? Or if
Sure.
you guys were, oh, okay, you would wait that time. You wouldn't pressure or anything like that.
No. I mean, when it's supposed to be, it'll be. That to kind of just take that approach, I mean, I can handle things on my own, until then. I can be creative, you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
But
sure.
like I don't feel like we'd need to pressure any girl to do anything that she wouldn't want to, because for me, like, again, whether it's serious or not serious, like, you have to be on the same page regardless, and so if I'm on that page and she's not, or vice versa, it's just not going to work, because it's we're not synced up, so.
Awesome. I just love you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Love you guys too.
Yes, and
No problem. Thanks for
being
having me
here.
on, and
yes,
thanks for getting me to steam up the
yes.
steam up my surroundings.
Yeah, we met
My
our
phone
goal.
is hot. My
That's
phone is
right. Yes. Well, I'll just close this out. And you guys, thank you so much for listening. And Chris, again, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for giving us your male perspective for dating.
hot. Thanks for the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope you
Yes,
come
and
back. You're welcome. anytime.
Happy. Yeah, I'd love to come back. This was fun.
Yes.
It was definitely fun. Congratulations, by the way. I can give you like your official congratulations on the podcast, but this is good. I mean, I hope I was able to give some insight, at least one point of view. I don't think I'm normal though.
Okay.
So
Nobody is.
That's right.
We pretend we are, but nobody is.
That's right.
right.
That's right. And
So,
there's a lot of different perspectives out there. That's why it's good to talk to.
That's how all my answers were how my weird mind works.
No, I appreciate your honesty. We appreciate your honesty. Yeah, no, you did great. You did great. So if you guys have a question for this single lovely man, please put him below. We will make sure that we ask him. And if there's anything that you guys have, well, maybe if you guys, maybe we'll put you on a dating show or something. I don't know, but there you go. But thank you guys so much for watching.
I can't be like, smash that like button.
That's right. You can say it. Smash
ring that notification bell. Smash that like button.
Yes, I love it. You just close us out.
But don't do it for me. Do it for these two, Amber and Karina. Do it for them. They deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve it. You guys deserve it.
Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate you. So don't hang up yet, but thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye.